possible to put them on the street. Because, for one thing, the white people might kill them.
Yeah.
Oh, you?
Oh, me, that's right. I hadn't thought about that.
No, you never do.
So the county commissioners, we have I think we'll use the term enlightened community around Orlando. I think there's a wealth of goodwill and good people in the community. And of course I've known Dan since 1972 and I've wanted to do something, but I never could quite get a focus on how to take it from Albany to Orlando and satisfy your chairman of the commission and other communities. They want it, but how do we duplicate Dan? Not that we want to, but how do we take his teachings and duplicate them?
Well, I've told Dan all along that I think his important work has been accomplished.
Right.
He has done what is necessary to do all the spade work. He's got the answers, no question about that. But he's got to put it in writing. He's got to put it down somewhere so it can be read. And for example, this thing of that we never knew that there's no such thing as spiritual law. That we have morals, but they are man-made. But we don't have any word for rucka. There is no such word. I don't know it.
Of course, the TV is always talking about the force and so on, and
That's
their
right.
side, which is an angle.
But they don't come back and say that the force is what that does it. They don't do that.
The evil forces and good forces, and what we focused on now is the conflict and the battles and the
That's
killing
right.
and the fighting. And they're learning the battle and not the force.
That's right. Well, that's just an example. This thing of forgiveness, it's unheard of by most people.
Well, we've put it out pretty well. It's moving.
I know, but if you write it down, it would be something else.
I know.
That's the thing. If I could possibly do it, what I would do is give Dan a secretary and let him turn loose. But I don't have the wherewithal to do it.
Right.
I don't have the facilities. I don't have the money. I don't know. It's just a bad situation.
Well, in the laws of living, or back to the old EMI days, which was where I started with him in '72, and then he wrote Keys to Human Relations for me. And I had, what was that, a $10,000 grant, I think, but he consulted for me. And best money I ever spent, because we've used it in our business. And forgiveness is a common word in our business, because that's what it takes to get any two people back on track.
That's right.
It doesn't happen without it. So.
Or a marriage.
Yeah. So, learning from you then would be that without a number of communities doing it, it loses its inertia, or it doesn't develop an inertia.
Well, that's the way it seems. I more or less had to throw up my hands. I don't know what to do with the county commission as they are. And they've said time and again they're not going to help fund it. And they may have a new realization after this lawyer got, and the former commissioner got shot up, but I doubt it.
Do you have a recollection, or Dan, as to about what the budget was when you were at your peak? Because as I understood it, you turned the curve downward in
Oh, yeah.
crime.
Oh, it was,
Nice to know.
it went down, way down. It was, I think it was during the pretrial release, it was 175,000 or something.
We dropped it from going up at a 16% rate per annum to going down at a 30% rate per annum in 9 months.
What was the budget though?
Budget, excuse me, it, taking what we were spending with the pretrial release and laws of living, it was only about $58,000. But there was a good bit more money going for urinalysis and things like that. Up to, I think, around, I figured out it would cost $2 per person if you had to buy everything from scratch in the community.
Or did we have a $150,000 budget in that time?
I think he got to 125, but you had a lot of
125.
things on there, the ad abuse, the PSC,
Well, one of the finest things we have is this emit machine down by the side of the jail now. But
You mentioned that, and I'm not familiar with it.
it detects cocaine, marijuana, and it can detect other drugs too, and as well as alcohol.
And in how long? Minutes or hours or?
Take a urine specimen and have the result in 10 minutes.
So it's 10 minutes.
dollar. So,
So,
It's what is it, silver?
yeah, civil
Silver.
hospital equipment company.
mhm.
Matter of fact, they'll give you the equipment, I think, if you buy all the supplies wrong.
So,
If you've got enough
Yeah.
volume.
Cost $1 a person
dollar test. They
Dollar
charge you
test.
$12 because they're putting the police and the machine and the rent and
Mhm.
everything else on.
or? Mhm.
Doctor's lab will do it for 15 and the county commission